Hey there. Welcome to our deep dive on small business loans.
Oh, yeah.
It seems like you're really digging deep into business financing, huh?
Yeah, looks like it.
Maybe thinking about ways to grow your business or even just, figuring out how to handle a tricky money situation.
Could be. Or maybe they're just curious about what's out there, all the different options.
Yeah, that's true too. And trust me, there is a ton of info out there to sort through.
That's for sure.
We're talking detailed guides on SBA loans,
Right.
quick tips on alternative financing,
Mm.
even some warnings about those offers that sound a little too good to be true.
Oh, yeah. Got to watch out for those.
Where do you even start?
Well, I think a lot of people get overwhelmed by the thought of taking on debt. You know,
Yeah, it can be scary, right?
it is. It's a big decision. Shouldn't be taken lightly at all.
Absolutely. I bet a lot of business owners probably feel like anxious about it?
It's understandable. I mean, small businesses really drive our economy.
Oh, for sure.
And so many of them need access to capital to really thrive.
It's like giving them the rocket fuel to launch their big ideas.
Exactly. But you got to be smart about it.
Right.
Approach loans strategically. You got to make sure they actually fit with your business goals and that you can handle those repayments.
Makes sense. So it's not just about snatching up the first loan offer that comes your way. It's more like finding the right fit for you and your business.
That's it, exactly.
So speaking of finding the right fit, you've given us a really interesting mix of sources here.
Yeah.
We've got, like I said, detailed guides on SBA loans, quick tips on alternative financing, and even some warnings about those too good to be true offers. I mean, where do you even begin with all this?
Well, I always say a great place to start is by understanding the different types of loans out there.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
It's kind of like picking the right tool from a toolbox.
Oh, I like that analogy.
Yeah, you wouldn't use a hammer to tighten a screw right.
Definitely not. So let's break down some of those key tools in the loan toolbox. What are like some of the main types of loans that are out there?
Okay, so one of the most common ones is the term loan.
Term loan.
It's where you get a lump sum of cash up front,
Okay.
and then you pay it back over a fixed period, with interest, of course.
Ah, the classic term loan. But I'm guessing there's more to it than that.
Oh, yeah, there's more to it. Term loans can be either short-term, which are usually for smaller amounts and paid back pretty quickly, like within a year, or you've got long-term loans, which can be for much larger amounts and take several years to repay.
So like short-term loans would be good for those times when you need cash fast, right?
Exactly.
Like for covering an unexpected expense or stocking up on inventory for a busy season.
Exactly. While a long-term loan might be better if you're making a big investment,
Got it.
like buying equipment or expanding your space.
Okay, so within the term loan family, you've got options for different time frames and different needs. What other types of loans should we be thinking about?
Well, another really popular one is the line of credit.
Line of credit. Okay.
It's way more flexible than a term loan, and it can be a real safety net for a business.
I've heard of lines of credit, but I'm honestly not entirely sure how they work.
Okay, so think of it like a credit card, but for your business.
Oh, okay.
You're approved for a certain amount,
Yeah.
and you can borrow and repay as needed.
Okay.
You only pay interest on the amount you actually use.
So if you don't use it, you're not paying interest.
That's right. It can be a really great tool for managing cash flow, especially if your business has, ups and downs in its income or if unexpected expenses pop up.
Okay, that makes sense. Lines of credit are all about flexibility. So we've got term loans, lines of credit. What else should we add to our list?
Well, something a lot of small business owners look into are SBA loans.
SBA loans, yeah.
Those are backed by the Small Business Administration. And these loans are specifically designed to help small businesses get funding.
I've definitely heard of SBA loans, but they always seem kind of mysterious to me, to be honest.
It's really not as complicated as it sounds.
Yeah.
The SBA doesn't actually lend you the money directly.
Oh,
They partner with banks and other lenders, and they guarantee a portion of the loan.
oh, so it's like the government is vouching for you, makes you less risky in the eyes of the lender.
Exactly. And that can really help you get approved and get better terms, especially if you're a new business.
I see. So these SBA loans can really open doors for businesses that might have trouble getting approved otherwise.
Yeah.
What are some of the most popular SBA loan programs?
Well, there are several. The 7A loan is super versatile, can be used for a lot of things, from working capital to real estate. Then there's the 504 loan, which is designed for fixed assets,
Fixed assets, like what?
like buildings or heavy machinery.
Okay, makes sense. Different tools for different jobs, right?
Exactly. And if you only need a smaller amount, maybe for a startup, you could look into SBA microloans,
Microloans.
which are usually under $50,000.
So 7A for versatility, 504 for those big purchases, and microloans for smaller amounts. Wow, the SBA loan world is way less scary now.
Glad to hear it. And that's just the beginning when it comes to loan options.
Wow, that's quite a menu of options already. Now that we've got a sense of the types, let's talk about where to find these loans. Is it just a matter of walking into your local bank?
Well, traditional banks are definitely still an option, and building a relationship with a local bank can be really valuable.
I can imagine that personal touch must be really reassuring for a small business owner.
You're right, it can make a big difference. But banks can also be pretty strict in their requirements, especially for newer businesses or those with, credit that's not perfect.
So, while that relationship is important, it might not be the easiest path for everyone, especially if you're just starting out. What are some other options out there?
Well, the lending scene has changed a lot. There are more choices now than ever. Credit unions, for example, are member-owned,
Okay.
and they often have more flexible lending criteria.
Oh, that's good to know, especially for businesses that might not meet those tougher bank requirements.
Exactly. And then there's the whole world of online lenders.
Online lenders.
They've really changed the game. They operate entirely online, which usually means faster approvals and less paperwork.
So it's like the convenience of online shopping, but for loans. What's the catch?
Well, you have to compare rates and terms carefully,
Yeah.
because some online lenders have higher interest rates than you'd get from a traditional bank.
Okay, so shop around and read the fine print, just like anything else online. Are there other players in this lending world we should know about?
There are. There's peer-to-peer lending, which connects borrowers directly with investors, and microlenders, who focus on small loans for businesses that might not qualify for traditional financing. There are even government programs, besides the SBA, that offer assistance or incentives.
Wow, I had no idea there were so many options. It's like a whole marketplace of lenders out there, each with their own thing. This is a lot to process.
You're telling me, and we haven't even talked about the application process itself yet,
Oh, right.
but that's a whole other conversation.
Sounds good. Let's give our listener a chance to absorb all this and come back ready to tackle that next stage of this loan adventure.
Good idea.